Why are you wearing like this? What is this?
What's wrong with my outfit?
The outfit looks awful. Do you need money to buy clothes or something? Change. It's awful. It's embarrassing. Change.
I will tell so. I know, right? That is so rude. Who does she think she is to say that to me?
Oh, there she is. You go talk to her. She's so scared. I'm scared of her. She might eat me or something.
So am I. I'm scared of her too. Right. What should we do?
Okay, the usual. Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Rock, paper, and scissors. May God bless you. Alisa?
I want to ask you about the model that Miss gave to me. Oh, the one that Miss Ida gave to me? Here you go. She's not that bad. I think she's kind of okay. Yeah, I think she's quite nice.
What is she wearing like that?
We're living in Malaysia, right?
The lipstick? Do you see the lipstick?
You're right. That is so wrong and not appropriate.
The zebra for Muslim, and then she will black lipstick like that knuckle.
She should choose a more vibrant color to go to class, I think.
She must be problematic.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are from group 2. I'm going to discuss to you about the topic that we choose, which is perception, self, and communication. So I am Nur Bathrisyia binti Suhaimi.
Hello, my name is Nur Farra Yusma binti Putera. My name is Nur Alisa binti Zawawi. Okay, so for the topic perception, we have choose to film 3 situations to create and we pick prejudice as a whole thing, and we choose these 3 situations to make it easier for the viewers to understand. So Patricia, can you help me to explain about the first scene in the video?
So basically, the first thing is that we're judging people the way that they talk, So when you see that there are 2 friends that talk to each other, and then they hear someone like yell to their friends, and then 2 of the friends like notice that person, the other person talk to their friends, it feels like it's so offensive. That is one of the example of perceptions happening.
When you're recording this film, have you ever judged someone yourself based on how this? In my opinion, to answer that question, absolutely. I believe everyone, including myself, has judged someone based on how they speak to others. Because being judgmental is unnecessary, but we couldn't help to develop a negative perception toward that particular person in this case. This is because speaking down to others by making unnecessary rude comments about their appearance, clothing, finance, and other areas of their life is a sensitive topic that can come off across as rude and insulting.
Maybe how you should elaborate more.
Okay, so I think from my perspective on this topic, I think of course we all do have like perceptions towards someone who speak harshly towards each other. I think that we all acknowledge that if we see someone that talk harshly, we must be like, oh, she's so rude. And we would often like we ourselves would have perception towards her, and I think that of course we would feel offended for someone, or if we were in their place, we would feel offended too. But I think that maybe rather than having perception that they are rude, maybe we should try to think that, or maybe they're born in a household that teach them to speak harsh. Maybe confront them about it and talk to each other if we actually feel offended. So, Patricia, What do you think, like, the cause of people talking harshly to each other?
The causes, I could say that we can say that the cause of people speak like that is just simply because that's how they act. At the same time, it also depends on what they have been through for them to be like that, for them to talk like that. So maybe it was like their defense mechanism, or maybe they just want to speak to about themselves, or maybe they just being honest. So the cause is like I think the personality of why people talk like that.
Okay, so I think we can move on to the second part from the video. So, Alisa, can you tell us about the scene in the for the second part?
Moving on to the next scene, in which Alisa has an arrogant expression on her face. Many others around her, particularly her classmates, were intimidated to approach her about class matter as a result of this. Butter and Farah, as seen in the video, are too scared to ask her about the module taught by the lecturer, Mr. Jha. They find it difficult to approach her because they have a false perception of her as arrogant, as she possesses a powerful aura. Bathrisyia is nervous and apprehensive when speaking with Alisa, but Alisa greets them with a warm approach, as it is just her face that she cannot control, not her attitude. As a result, they conclude that their perception of Alisa is completely incorrect.
Well, from this situation, like, have any of you experienced this situation before?
At first, perception about me, people say that I have like an angry face or something like that. So they don't want to simply just talk to me. They plan first and then they ask me. So that's my experience and also my encounter to that experience. So do you have that kind of experience, or maybe yourself also?
Yes, one of my friends in high school believed that I was arrogant, and she even admitted that she hated me for these exact situations. I mean, despite never having spoken to me or gotten to know me, she mistaken me for someone who is entitled to themselves simply because I have a skull facial expressions. But in reality, I'm just like everyone else, and once I get to know you, I'm friendly. And ironically, she has been one of my closest friends for the past 8 years.
So, Bathrisyia, so, like, what do you think, like, the causes of people making perception of, like, people's face?
When talk about the causes of this false perception is that it was maybe the way we think of others, the way we talk about others, like the way we think about others, whether that we quickly judge that person, or maybe we just don't care, like maybe just how the way she looks. So for me, when even people like have that kind of face, I think that if I don't start to talk to her or them, maybe I don't know, so I just try to talk. So maybe both of you can share your own opinion on this one.
Okay, so what I would like to add on is, like, the effect of the perceptions toward the person with the arrogant face. So I think for someone who has experienced it, I might have like thoughts that, oh, maybe I should try to smile more, or maybe I should make myself more approachable, be the first to communicate to each person. So I think these are the things that affect me as a person that were born with this kind of face. Actually, it might be kind of tiring because as someone who was born with this face, I would feel like, oh, maybe I should try to be more friendly, but in some kind of way, I think that both sides should have communicate with each other to hinder this from happening to each and every person.
But at the same time, we cannot just go around and smile.
Yeah, that would be weird.
So weird.
Yeah, it's hard to people not to have perception towards us because we are born with this face.
I think we can move on to the last situation. So because we make assumption the way they dress.
Okay,
So can you explain about this?
of course, I could explain. Okay, so for the third scene in the video, I, in the character, was wearing a black lipstick, and I was reading a book in the class, and the two other girls in my class are making assumptions of me being somewhat dressed like a gothic person, just because I was wearing a darker lipstick. And so the two of them goes on to gossiping about my appearance. So I think that Alisa, so what would you do if you met someone who dressed differently from you do?
In all honesty, I would be impressed by the way they dress, since it clearly shows that they are confident and aware of their own personal style. Because everyone presents themselves in their own unique way, and if that makes them happy, I don't see the sense in passing judgment.
I think that focusing on this in this video, which is about someone who wears like somewhat a gothic style, people I think often have judged people with that style, saying that they are problematic. They have bad attitudes just because they wear like differently. So they wear black clothes, they have a lot of piercing, they listen to metal songs. So I think that people often consider them as problematic. So in my opinion, in my point of view, I think that every person deserves to wear what they want. So I think that for me, I have no problem with people wanting to wear whatever they want. I think that people in their style is the way they speak about themselves. Okay, so Bathrisyia, why do you think people like have the need to judge other people when they see like one that are different from them?
Why do people feel like a need to judge when they see one? Is because maybe it's different. Because people tend to like judging people the way they differently, especially when they dress differently. What about both of you? Like, Alisa, Farra?
I believe that people feel the need to pass judgment when they encounter a group of people who dress in gothic style, because it is uncommon to witness such a group in everyday life.
I also think that people often are quick to judge because they are not in the circle. So they do not see the comfort in dressing as one of the circle.
So now we have come to the closure to this situation. So let's talk about the solution for this problem. So first thing first we have to do is respect each other, because perception is in your inner self. I don't know whether you have perception about me, or I don't know, you also don't know that I have my perception about you. So in terms of inner side of yourself, you have to change. It's because I could say that it's all about you. If you don't respect others, so don't expect people to respect you in the future. What about you, Farra?
Okay, for me, I think that one of the solutions is like to interact with people outside our circle. So maybe if we're friends with like only Malays, like as we know in our college there are only Malays, so maybe try to approach some Indian friends and Chinese friends, or even like international friends using social media. From what I know, interacting with people outside our circle can actually open up our mind and like change our perspective. For example, in somewhere, if I'm not mistaken, in Beijing, there's like one culture that like they don't drink cold water in hot weather because they think that only hot water would quench the thirst. So I think that in Malaysia there's no such thing as drinking hot water in like hot weather. That we will think that maybe it will just make us even hotter. So by this story, I can say that if we live with outside our circle, outside our place, we would see that not everything is according to what we feel. We are how would I say, like not everything in this world have the same mindset as our circle. So what about you, Alisa? What do you think the solution?
I also agree with your point, Farah, that we should broaden our circle of friends. Because rather than sticking with our old friends, we should go out and meet new people from various walks of life. For example, maybe she feel confident to wear gothic style in public, but her profession might be a lawyer or a teacher. So we never knew, and because we are too quick to judge people solely based on how they style themselves. So I think by broaden our circle of friends, it will change our perspective on how we should communicate with others, and we also should respect them, acknowledging how by seeing deeper than the surface, as you know, and that's all.
Now we have reached our closure to the discussion that we are doing right now. So I think that in conclusion, perception is happening everywhere, anytime, to everyone. But at the same time, the way you manage your perception and the way you accept the perception is what makes it different. Because everyone has the same perception towards others. For example, like in terms of saying that Malay being late, always being late, so everyone has the same perception. But at the same time, we can choose to agree with the perception by being late, or at the same time, we also can broke the perception by being early. So to me, based on the way people dress, talk, and also look, it does not mean that we can quick to judge. We can quick to judge, but at the same time, we have to understand everything in the world. So the solution is like explore the world, respect each other, and try to interact with many people. That can help us in order to manage our perception and judgment.
In conclusion, I want to point out that perceptions happens when we recognize environmental cues, as we seen in these three examples in the video. We should be more mindful of how we communicate with others in order to prevent being judged incorrectly and making negative first impressions on others. I also would like to add that in everyday life, learning nonverbal communications is just as important as learning verbal communications. So we should try to be more control our facial expressions to avoid this wrong perception of others on you. So in short, we should try not to not be too quick to pass judgment, and we also should be aware of your own actions.
I also would like to add, okay, so from the topic we choose, the problem that we decide to agree on is like we do pre-judgmental on the person we don't even know. So I think that itself is a problem. And I think that, yes, I do think that all people judge every other person when they meet each other. But I think just because you're judging them, at least you're judging them inside your mind, and do not let the judgment affect how you would communicate or talk to them. That's my conclusion.
Okay, that is all from us for our discussion for topic 3, perception, self, and communication. We are from group 2. Again, my name is Nur Bathrisyia.
My name is Putera.
My name is Nur Alisa binti Zawawi.
So thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.